released it to the media, I guess, about 15 minutes ago. So the markets have firmed up from that. So I guess it's something positive going on here. Let's check the chat line out. And just waiting to see. I guess that's it. Maybe it's there already because I'm not. I got live data and I don't see it doing anything particularly more. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. No wonder. All right, let's jump over to here. Yeah, just I guess 15 minutes ago would be right around here. Can you see that? Let's see if right there. Okay, it's actually made the estimated is the actual, so that may make some people happier than usual. So I guess it's confirmed. The I guess the fear out of the marketplace in total is. Oh, there's Janos. Hey, Janos. Why do I get ads? I don't know. Before a live stream. Jeez. Yeah, it's YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. The media is, basically gotten the news a while ago, and markets are firming up again. So we'll just let them play themselves out. Let me take a sip of my coffee. We got rolling along. Yep. Sip of coffee done. Let's take a look at it. Dollar index. So right here, we can dismiss that. The PCE, was supposed to be 3. Let's see, September personal income up 0.3 versus 4. That'll make the markets feel a little bit more bullish. And you can see it here on the stock indices right there. You can see it's climbing back up from the lows. Overall, let's see, September personal spending was up 0.7 versus 5. September core, they pay attention to the core more. The core rate. I want to say something, but it doesn't make any sense no matter what I say. And when it comes to the Federal Reserve and how they're trying to slow the economy and how they're trying to, what's the way to describe it? Trying to slow the inflation. And so September prices, 3.4 versus 3.4. I guess we'll hear some interesting points. But what I really do is I enjoy looking at the numbers and the end result. See how the money is taking it. Okay, consumer spending and so forth. Let's see what they have to say. Huh. So they're thinking basically interest rates won't go up, and so stock market's lifting up. And when we look at the dollar index, I would imagine it's moving down. Let's put the dollar index up on the screen. See now there, the dollar index, let's widen this out. You see that? It's still lifting up a little bit, but coming off its highs right there. You can see that. And it was curving down to begin with. We'll see if it has any real effect. And at the same time, we're still in that weekly buy. When we scrunch it up, we've been in a weekly buy in that product for a while, since basically the beginning of August. So the strength has been, steadily climbing from the 102s to the 107s. So overall, Kevin Hassick. Now I like Kevin. Okay. Interesting. I'll see. Yo, Robin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I cannot log in on one browser. It's telling me I got an ad blocker. I don't. On the other one, it's asking for the password.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't want to reset.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Well, the GP, the
Keep trying.
okay, just yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Now the numbers, overall, I mean, soft landing, all these crazy statements, all these crazy ideas. It's really, we're really trapped in a world of confusion when it comes to facts. Just like, we go right back to it. What was it? Transitory inflation. We had the Federal Reserve for dancing on that song for a year and 3 months, almost a year and a half, before they did something about it. A year and 3 months, not like 3 months, not like 5 months, not like 9 months. A year, 15 months before they finally admitted something was not working right. He's thinking, Kevin Hasek, which I find to be very sharp, basically saying that the markets and the economy could ride this whole thing out for the next year. In other words, they'll be looking forward, and that's what we talk about a lot. Is the constantly looking for that better economy ahead of us. All right. Anyway, there's the currencies. There's that's the dollar index. That is the algorithm. You can see it, and it doesn't seem to want to let go. And it almost seems like this is the base. And now they're talking some intelligent stuff like wages. Are we going to see people catching up in wages to inflation? Right now, they're not. There's a lot of economic news, and we move away from the economic news. We're hearing the song and dance today, but overall, we're really looking at the numbers. In other words, the actual values, the price action, price discovery. All the mechanics that is really important when understanding the marketplace itself. So, let's see. Here's a money manager. Yeah, they're looking at the UAW and so forth. All right, we're going to skip by the fundamentals now since we know that fundamentals are so sloppy. And we know that there's plenty of time. Now the question is, will the buyers come back into the market, which they haven't been doing? So from there, we'll go over to the euro, and you're going to see the same type of action, I would assume. The euro is probably, in a daily sell for the last couple of days, and it's going to probably stay there for a little bit longer. And there it is right there. You can see the third day of a hinky-ashky red. Excuse me. You can see the fast algorithm is at 19.2. The slow is at 33. Is that right? Yeah, 33. So the pressure is still on the currency itself. We go over to the euro right there. And as you can see there, it's, it tried to lift up yesterday off of its lows. It's not challenging the lows yet, but you can see it's moving down now. And we're in that long weekly sell again, in that long weekly sell now, going all the way back to again like the beginning, just like the dollar index, in the beginning of was it right there's the zero line, so you can see it at the end of July, at the beginning of August in the fast, and at the same time a week or two into it on the August itself. So end of July and. See that pressure, and it's been going down. Once our math went into the sell here, there was pressure, and you can see the pressure keeps on accentuating itself. We did bottom in here a little bit here, and that's been kind of nice. We've seen we went into a daily buy right there, but overall the weekly is just not that happy with it all. It's we used to call that on the trading floor the dead cat bounce. Wow, dead cat bounce. Where it's bouncing mainly because of the density of the product falling, not because it's alive. And that's why they call it a dead cat bounce. All right. From there, we'll go over to, and remember, traders, if you want to see something or ask a question, be my guest. I just go through my, pattern every day just to keep an organizational structure. But we're really glad if you said, hey, I want to know what Amazon looked like, or if I want to know what gold is looking like, or if I want to know what crude oil is doing, we can stop looking at the currency for that moment, and we'll go back to it after I answer the question. But we're very happy to always have the conversation, because you just don't know when you find a good trade because someone asked a question. Now you can see here's the cable, and it's weakening even more after that nice little bounce there. And you can see it over here on J4X, same situation. Down 3, Just like the way the euro is down. Let's just re-emphasize it again. Where the euro is down 3. Just same thing. Same pressure. And when we go and look at cable, let's take a look at the fast versus the slow. See, the fast is at 19.0, basically, almost 19.1. And the slow is at 29. It's like a 30 some odd percent down, which is fascinating when you look at the percentage of how much it's different from the fast stochastic here versus the slow, which matches up to our algorithms over here. And that's the daily right there, like we're looking at right here. And then this is the weekly. All right. So from there, we drift over to, we go to the Swiss franc and see what the Swiss is up to this morning. And there's the Swiss still making another high today. It's not really letting go there. Right there. 3 days in a strength there, matching up to the dollar index, matching up to the other currency pairs. It's all analogous with each other. They don't want to, they don't feel comfortable. They want to own dollars, be it because of the global, politics going on right now, or the interest. Well, what's kind of curious is when we go over and look at, let's just do it real quick and take a look right here, and we go and look at the bond market itself. You see the bond market, it lifted up 5 days ago now, like right there. This is the 30-year bond. They had a nice spike up. And the next day it was up, and then it dropped off. And now it came back up to relatively a higher close right there than yesterday. And today it's just a little offset, and it's flirting with the sell, but still in the buy. It's 0.06 on the algorithm. The weekly is trying to lift up, but it's not anything, it's not getting through. The fast is making its move to get to the 0 line, which is nice. They'd have to lift it up and take out probably these highs and, take out this high right there to get this thing to get up into the go, at this point. The go-go, or the go-no-go, as I like to say when I do the math to it. All right. From there, we go back to the currencies again, and we'll take a look at the yen. There it is right there. And you can see it started off firm in Japan and it's backing off a little bit. Then a buy for 4 days there. And same thing with the weekly. We've been in this weekly buy on that product too, since the beginning of August or the last few days of September, depending if you're looking at the fast algorithm versus the slow algorithm. All right, and then from there, as we march along, and we go take a look at, what are we looking at now? We go from there over to, let's put it up on J4X too, just to give you a flavor how well it matches up. Right there. And as you can see on there, you got your 3 days of buy. You can see the fast is at 66.7. The slow is at 77.6. Still downward pressure. The markets want to go down more than they want to go up in these products. Off to the coffee for a sip. Interesting. Hassett is really making sense. All right. So there's the yen. We'll see how long that holds on for. And from there, we're going to go over to the Turkish lira. Right there. We're just underneath the Turkish lira is just underneath the 30 area. And let's put it up over here. Right there. And this is that, that, I guess we should even make it louder, I guess you can say. think we should put a red around it, more like that. There we are. And this, this is where it doubled the interest rate in Turkey, and it just failed at it. And you can see it now. We're just right back up there, and I doubt, like I said yesterday, in a jokingly way, will they now cut interest rates a half a percentage, a 50% cut back down to 12.5? I doubt it. The policies are the policies, and it's not really altering the pathway of the currency itself. It's your classic situation. Basically, capitalism and free markets versus government-controlled and guided direction, and not the markets. And when you don't have free markets and free investing, being able to freely invest the way you want as an individual, the government is never more positive. It's always negative. It always hurts. It slows economies, and that's what we see when we see the euro going from 1 to 30 to the Turkish lira. Hot coffee feels good. All right, so there's Turkish lira. What we're going to do now is we're moving pretty fast today, but that's fine with me. It's a Friday. We're going to go over to the number one brick in the world. So we're going to head over to the South African Rand, right there, ZAR. You see that it's doing a little positiveness there this morning. Yesterday they backed it off, stayed in the buy, but this morning you can see they're trying to get into the sell. Now let's check out. Let's see what gold is doing, and we're going to put let's put South African Rand up on J4X, right there. So you got that pressure down, which is bullish for gold. And I think last I saw gold, let's put it up on the screen here. Gold has been looking fine, steady. It's been in a weekly buy for, 14 days, something like that. Yeah, it's looking all right. It's not exploding or anything. It's just hanging out underneath the $2,000 area. I jumped across the $2,000 a few times, like 204 yesterday. A couple of days back, it was 209. And so we're seeing that solid, consistent push on the upside. Let's see if we can put it on this. I want to see what that looks like. Let's see. Where is gold? Looking for gold on. There it is, right there. Yeah. So we've been in a buy there for 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. It goes on and on from back here since middle October. So there's 3, there's 6, there's 9, there's 12, 13, 14. Today's 15 days now in the daily buy. The weekly's been in a buy just for a couple of weeks right there. The pressure's been on. It's just been trying to ride up. At the same time, we look at the other metal, silver. You see silver keeps on flirting in and out. It's playing with the weekly at the same time, trying to get into the weekly sell. The daily is looking weak and not not strong. It was playing this morning right on the edge of the daily sell. It's a little red there right now. Let's put it up on J4X too. No. We'll just leave the ZAR up there just to emphasize how off course it is shifting, and that's really what it comes down to. Is it is trying to roll over, and we'll see if that weekly does get into the sell this week too. All right, from there we go over and take a look at copper. Now, with all the action that's been going on in China and Chairman X or Xi is you can see here it's in a sell from yesterday, but lifting up very firm, but in a weekly sell here from up in here. So it's a real dichotomy, or a lot of confusion, I guess you could say. Some are thinking maybe China is getting its game back together again, lifting the economy. There's real feeling out there that the what do you call it, the Central Bank of China, People's Bank of China, not Central Bank, People's Bank of China, may start bailing out some things. I mean, they supposedly have $3 trillion parked to the side we don't really have that comfort level as if they actually have 3 trillion. We know they have about 1 trillion in the United States, just a little underneath it. So at least we know that part. But when it comes to the other 2 trillion, not too comfortable with that. Just solely because we've been confused why they can't find $15 million. It's like saying you need $1 and you keep on telling everybody you have $1,000 in your pocket, and it's more like $3,000 in your pocket. You have $3,000 in your pocket, and you're looking for $15, and they can't find it in their pocket. Somehow or another, they have $3,000, 3 trillion, but for some reason they can't find $15 or $15 million to prop up a bank, or it's a property company. And there's been that strong talk about that too. Why even Bloomberg, who loves to protect China, said, geez, what's up with that they can't find $15 million and pay the bondholders. I mean, you want to be a world, you want to be in, you want to be a world financial country. You got to be able to find $15 million when you have $3 trillion. And that's been the massive confusion of it all. So, and then from the copper, we go over to the platinum. There's the platinum right there. And the platinum is curious in its own right. It's in buy for 3 days, not really going anywhere, making highs and then failing. We're in a weekly sell, but at least the fast, as you can see right here, the fast algorithm on the weekly basis has jumped across the 0 line. Now the question is, when does the slow join in? And why is it lagging the metal complex? That's the even more crazier part. You can see the South African Rand trying to move down even more. And we should, last we looked at, let's go back to the gold. Gold was down $5. And now it is down, what is it down now? Down $4.50. So, it's lifting up a little bit. It should. South African Rand is trying to pressure down, which is a very bullish sign for the metals complex. Ooh, there we go. Robin says, now I can get in, but a black screen telling me I can't use an ad blocker cover the screen I give. Okay, that makes sense. Because remember, it's YouTube. YouTube likes to see all that stuff, And so there we are with the gold again. We're just looking at that one more time. And, we know that the silver is basically hovering. So now the question is, we're seeing South African Rand gain. Normally that would mean that somewhere later on today we're going to see strength in the gold again. So, it's just an opportunity usually. And since it's in a buy and a weekly buy, you want to kind of think about purchasing some. All right, especially in a binary fashion, in options would be the best at this point. After 15 days in a buy, you wonder how long can it go on for? When are they going to do a back and fill somewhere? Because let me just show you what professional traders are staring at. Basically, they're looking at this low, they're looking at that high, and they're saying, okay, maybe it needs to come down to the 0.23 right there, to 23.6. And so, maybe it'll work its way back down and you buy into that weakness. Maybe it gets into a daily sell. You wait for it to get back into a daily buy, and that would be even better. So if you're hungry to get in now, well, the South African Rand is trying to tell you, yeah, not bad, maybe. And so do it as a binary. That'd be the safest way to go after it. And let's see what else. That's about it. Let's move from the metals complex over to the energy complex. And there is oil. Now, oil was lifting pretty firm here this morning at one point. And you can see the daily was playing with the daily buy. And now it's kind of dropped underneath. It's at minus 0.1, as you can see right there. Now minus 3. And so, we're seeing that pressure on the oil. Let's go over and look at the Canadian dollar. We'll throw that up on J4X. And usually when the Canadian dollar is losing against the dollar, and that's as it rises here on the chart on J4X, that means it's losing against the dollar. The dollar is gaining against it. There's more CAD than US dollar. And you can see the algorithm's way up, or in this case here, the stochastic is way up, 89.9 to 90 basically, with the slow trading at 86.7, almost 8. So it's still moving in that bearish direction for CAD. Now from there, normally we would see oil, see how oil's been moving down. That, and you can see they popped it up 3 days ago and then now moving down again. Now it's tried to lift today and it's trying to, oh, and you can see there, now it's the algorithm on the daily is at 05 and 07, bouncing around. Weekly is still trying to get into that weekly buy. They're showing some strength in a very soft way. And, these two major products, gold and oil, have, are very strong, very major volume on the planet. They're very, very important, and a lot of people follow them. All right. So from there, we go over to Brent. Let's put the Brent up on our beta. Let's see. Let's find, there it is, BZF. And there's Brent. Ooh, T. Let's see who texted me. Here. Oop. Here we go. There we go. So, what do we got going on here? So let's go over to, oh, that's right. We put it up on the beta at this point. This way we can see the Brent. And you can see Brent there. And we'll put it up on J4X too at the same time. There's Brent trading at 88. We've dropped down from the 95s. 94 and change 95. Same thing over here. You can see it's in a daily sell for over 4 days now, right there, going on 5. And at the same time, it's been in that weekly sell and doesn't want to let go, as much as West Texas is trying to get into the buy right there. You can see it's trying to lift. Now let's take a look at crude oil on our beta, and we'll see what that looks like. Where's that mouse at? There we are. And we'll check out that. We've seen on our beta, it doesn't want to join in. And there it is right there. And there it is right there. So you can see it's hovering underneath. It's in a sell for 4 days. It's not, you can see here it's trying to get into the buy now that we're popping up again. And at the same time, our weekly has been in the sell and it's not lifting up much. So as much as it looks like they're reaching for it, they're not. Now, gold is trying to lift, and it's failing. It's down, $4.5, $5, and you can see crude is acting that way. We started the week off in Brent, way up in here in the I guess it was like 80, 89, 90, something like. Oh no, this is West Texas. Let's get the Brent back up on the screen here. But you can see West Texas was up almost near $90 at one point. I guess that was Friday of last week. And today, or let's put it this way, it was up in the 88s, 89. And now we've gotten as low as like 82, 83. So there's a lot of pressure on the energy sector, which is a positive thing. We need lower energy costs to perk up the world economy. And then you can see here, same situation. Brent was over in the 90s, like 91, and we've gotten down to 86 just underneath and on Wednesday, and now it's trying to lift up a little bit more in here. We'll see what kind of pressure they put on the energy sector itself. All right, from there I'm going to take a sip of my coffee again since it's morning time here in the States, and let's go over to, what product should we go to next? I guess we'll take a look at natural gas. Let's see what the natural gas looks like. All right. And there we go, right? Where do we go? Right Let's see. Crude oil. Now natural gas. Now let's do this. Let's put it up on here. The natural gas on this one. There it is. You can see natural gas keeps on lifting up. That's interesting. It's gone from 330 to 360 in the daily buy. And we're in that weekly buy for 4 weeks now. Put it in here. All right. See that same strength again? Yeah, nice and strong. Oh. There it is. You can see the fast algorithm is at 96 and the slows at 70, almost 76. It's a pretty good distance between each other. So their buying is still going on. Lots of strength there. And then what do? We'll go over to, from there we go over to natural gas company in Spain to try to get a flavor of what they're doing in Europe. And I would assume just seeing this action, we may be touching the 27 area. So what? Oh no, look at that. They backed it off to 26.58. Now that's curious. Gas itself is lifting, and it was 26.88 yesterday. And so they're putting pressure on it down 30 cents. That's interesting. I would have thought it would have been up almost 27. It's always confusing me, this product. It tells us what they're thinking in Europe. Maybe they're getting those coal-fired, using the black coal for power again. They claim that they're going to do it. Let's find it right here. There's right there. There it is. Yeah, look at that. So 26, it's backing off. We're trying to get into a sell. You can see it right there. At the same time, the weekly is still in the weekly buy, and matching up to the weekly gas prices in the buy for 4 weeks. Oh, let's see. Monsieur Bega.
Hey, when we went to the motor vehicle place in Salem, where was that?
That was right down the center of town at the traffic light. You make a left. You go past the.
Make a left in the next lights, right?
Yeah, and then you go in behind it. You pass it by. Yeah, and you park out back.
Yeah, I think that's where I knew it was.
Okay.
The navigator, I think, is taking me to the inspection station.
Oh yeah, up on 45. Yeah.
I can go right down past the.
Ins-
right down through Woodstown and straight out.
Yep. Oh.
Shopping center.
Yep. Right. Oh yeah, you go all the way down, go to the traffic light and Salem itself and 49. Make a left and then make a right at the light and go behind the building there because you'll pass the front office right there.
Right, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Just sharpening up here.
Hey, I don't blame you. Bye-bye. Okay, now, I play GPS once in a while. I am the GPS. All right, from there, let's see, we got the natural gas on there, and you can see that energy company, hesitating, and which is a good thing. I'd like to see it go down more than go up. Anything. Here you go. Amazon. Let's check out Amazon. Let's go to Amazon. So that's the energy sector, and from there we're going to. Let's see. Let's put in. You can see the stock market's acting firm. There. Now you can see Amazon right there. They're gapping it up this morning. We are in weekly sells and daily sells. So I'd imagine, there's one where it was wrong. It has to happen once in a while. And we're coming up to where we went into the sell, back up in here in the 125 area. And that's why we always recommend doing options. You know what we didn't do yesterday, and we can actually look at it now. Let's take a look at the options. Let's take a look at the options and see what options we're projecting. Let's see right there in Amazon. Because we have yesterday's prices. We can put them up there, and that'd be interesting to see. But yeah, that didn't pick it up. It was in a sell for what, 7 days in a sell. And something like 9 out of the last 10 days. It's been in a weekly sell since the 140-ish area. And, here we got down below 119.20 yesterday. Let's put Amazon in there. A-M-Z-N, enter. All right, now let's take a look at the, let's see, where was this? The product was trading yesterday. It closed at 120. Where did it close out yesterday? Closed at 120. So let's look at the 120 call, which is priced at $5. Is that right? No, closed at 481. So it closed at 481. And let's see. The put, let's see what the put did. Now that was the put, 481. Let's say $5. We'll round it out to 5. And the call, the 120, was at 441. All right. So basically, I want to say $9, $9.50. Let's say $9.50. Okay. So now we're looking at 129. On the high side, we're looking at $9.50. We're looking at 110.5 on the sell side. Now let's widen out this and see where they're at the moment. Looks like, is that 126? Yeah, 126. So right now they're trading the product at 126.50. So when this market opens up this morning, I wouldn't be surprised to find the stock trading at 129 or 130. And it's under. Now, it's very rare for it to be under, and we don't know if they already got there last night or not. That's the other thing, is that we're not seeing the overnight pre-market, post-market. Matter of fact, let's see if we can get that in there. Let's see, pre and post. Let's see what that did. So it's trading at a little close to 127. I bet it's 126 and change. If it didn't trade at 129 last night, then more than likely it will try to do it this morning, and that's what we'll see there. That's probably lifting up a lot, a lot of the markets. Making them much more firmer. So there's Amazon, and there's one time where we get it right 8.5 out of 10 times. There's your 1.5. It was in a daily sell for 7 days, and it was in a weekly sell for, I don't know, what's that, 8 or 9 weeks? Let's just tighten it up one more time. Been in a weekly sell since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going on a 6th week. So it's been pressured down a lot, from the 140s area. And most of the sells have been really nice wins. In this case here, the last one was a nice win, and now we're giving up potential profits or real profits. And that's my coffee too, sip. There we are. How's that, Yano? Say okay? Now let's go from there. What else can we say about let's go over to the stock market. See what the stock market's doing. It still seems to be climbing. And that's why we always recommend binaries, for spreads like that. You could, or buy the wings and see what you can make out of it, that type of thing. In this case here, it's actually underperforming too, which is curious. Rarely do we see it underperform. See, Yana says, some said that it could bounce that high in case of positive reaction. Yeah, that would make sense. They were looking at the option pricing, what they were, how they were pricing the options. Now you can see here, let's show you what the short term, since we made that low this morning around the 161 area, it's climbed all the way back up to the 177. This is the short term intraday indicator going on. We go back to all three of them. You can see this has jumped back into the buy right here, not going anywhere particular. This one is trying to get into the buy right now. You can see that right there. And let's go see what the daily looks like. Now yesterday, when we look at these stock indices, like the Dow and the S&P 500 and the Tech 100 NASDAQ and the Russell, There's the you see here the S&P doesn't look like it's going to do anything get nearer the buy. Maybe it'll go up and challenge the 200-day moving average. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. And then from there, and I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about maybe over the next week or two or 3 weeks, something like that. Now over here, we go and look at the NASDAQ 100 right there. You see NASDAQ 100, which was trying to get into the buy, failed dramatically over these last 3 days. And the daily is deeply down. It's going to have to climb up into the 14.7 area or 14.6 to get things going in on the upside. And that's that. Now we'll go over to, and let's put that up on J4X too. There's the Tech 100. All right. There's the Tech 100 just dropping off from the 15s down to the 14s. From the 15,000s, mid 15,000s to the low 14,000s. Now from there, we can take a look at the S&P right above it that we just looked at. Same situation, falling from the 4,400 down to the 4,100, 4,150 area. And then let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Same situation, falling down from the 34,200 down to the 32,800. So that's like a 1,400 point drop. Pretty dramatic there. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's put it up over here. Now, we saw the Russell yesterday. Actually, we looked at the Russell. Giannis had asked about the Russell. We've been watching the Russell. And you can see here the Dow is just unchanged almost, but not lifting in any way. But the Russell yesterday actually was up for the day by 5 points, which is a lot for the product that's trading in the 1600s. And there it is right there. Let's see what it looks like today. Again, it's trying to lift up a little bit more. It's not taking out yesterday's high of, what was that? The high yesterday was 1681, and today's high is 1676. And they're working on it. They're trying to get it to go up. We'll see if they can get this thing. And it's up again today by $2. So they're showing some gains. That's actually considered, what is that? Almost 1% up. That's pretty good. The product is trying to lift. Yeah, some said that, yeah, okay, I read that. All right. I try to look at the chat line. This way we can, get things in precisely there. So, all right. So there's the stock indices. And since, we're looking, let's go and look at, say, DAX. Let's see what the DAX is doing. We'll go over to, there we go, right here. And so we'll put it up on J4X and our beta. So let's see what the DAX is up to. There's the DAX. You can see it's trying to lift up the last couple of days. The weekly is still down. And you can see here it's kind of bottomed out on the DAX. On the London exchange, let's see what the London exchange looks like. Europe is kind of holding up a little bit in there. Let's see. And the United States has been the one that's been weak. Let's see if we can find London. There it is right there. And there's the London. And let's see if we can get the DAX up on J4X. There's the bond. Right. I think that's it right there. There's the DAX. So the DAX has kind of been stalled but red. I'll go back to this for a second. Let's put the DAX back up there again. There it is right there. So you see the DAX, it's been the same way, kind of up and down, but it's holding itself. And we've got some green for the last 3 days here. And you can see the algorithm has turned into the plus. And you can see the weekly still in the minus. A lot of pressure there. Then when we go over to the London, see what the London looks like. Don't see it. Where's London? Don't see it there. Let's put it up over here. There it is right there. You see the same thing on the weekly. It's been in the weekly sell for about 5 weeks. And the daily has been battling on the upside and looks like it's failing a little bit today. Yeah, look at that slam down they're doing today. So it's been, but it's up for the week still, just by a little bit, but it's still up for the week pretty much the same way the DAX is. Both are pretty much almost unchanged compared to the action we've seen in the U.S. stock market. So that is curious in its own right, you know. Europe, for a change, is showing some bullishness when we're here in the States been sold down. Maybe investors were running to use the weakness to step up and buy Europe, and that would make sense. That was the old traditional way of investing, bouncing between outside the United States and inside the United States and back out again. And in this case here, we're finally seeing the opposite of late, which is nice. All right. So from there, that's pretty much the stock indices. Oh, let's look at. I think we look at the Nikkei too. Let's see if we can find the Nikkei. There it is, right there. And the Nikkei, looks the same as Europe, really. That almost looks like the DAX. There's the DAX right there. Has that same look to it, just like this. Same pattern. And I kind of think the DAX is and the Nikkei, they're trying to put a base in there. And one thing is for sure is they've kind of stopped selling it, which is really good. So really, world stock indices are firmer than U.S. stock indices at the moment, and that's an interesting, just an interesting characteristic of late. I would hope that means something positive overall. If money's starting to reach there, maybe they're thinking like a global recovery type of thing. Not as if we're in a very mild recession. We move in and out of it. And maybe this would be the beginning of a turn. We'll see. Just the whole idea that what's interesting is the Russell. As a matter of fact, let's go back to the Russell. Do we have it in here too? I think we do. I think we have the Russell in here. Let's see. Because the Russell has tried to hold up also, which is kind of. Oh, and here's Hong Kong. Show you Hong Kong. Hong Kong did the same thing. It's lifting up, and we see the currency weakening too at the same time. And then let's see if we can get. No, don't see any others. Okay, all right. So that's the strength of outside the United States, and then here's the Russell up on this screen here, acting pretty much the same way. It's just down a little bit for the week. But there's Monday. So we're just underneath. It would have to close above 81. And we've seen that the high yesterday was 81. So what they did is they climbed up to yesterday's close and then backed off, but was still up for the day. And so we're seeing money move away from everything. The stock indices, we're seeing them move away from the three major world stock indices, and instead everybody's buying the others, which is always interesting in its own. That's pretty cool. So from there, we go over to, where should we go from there? Should we look at, anybody want to see some, like Apple? Let's see what Apple's doing. Apple's been really dragging hard. As we saw Amazon, let's see what Amazon's doing. So Amazon's has fallen down more, right? 20, is that 25 or 26? That's 25. It's down $1 since last we looked at it. And then there's the Apple. Apple's trying to lift up. It's been in the daily sell for, I don't know, from here somewhere. There's the cell right there. Was that the first cell? That's the first cell right there. Let's put that in. Actually, there's the first cell. Minus -07. So it's been in the daily sell since the 75 area. Fell down to, what's the low yesterday? Low is 65, 67 from a close of 175.46. And that's the number one stock in the world. Yeah. That's the way that's played out now too. All right, from there, let's see, where do we go from there? I don't see anything else on the chat line. What else can we show you? Just to give you a flavor of what's going on. Google. Google's trying to lift up. It's been in the sell since right here. And this is, I haven't cleaned that up. If that was, I think on our sheet it's in a sell. So it went into the sell right there. And I don't think, that, we were in a weekly sell, so you couldn't take the buy, that's for sure. See, we're down in here. So, that no one was long that through our math, solely because we were underneath the zero line. We knew that it was going down. Let's see, what else? Let's save that too. And let's see what the financials are looking like. There's Goldman Sachs down at 3-month lows, 4-month lows, 5-month lows, 6-month lows, 7-month lows, 8-month lows. Look at that. Yearly lows. September. It's almost like a 51-week lows. Interesting. All right, traders. I guess that's about it. So I think we're going to call our title today something like World Indexes. World Equity Indexes. Let's call it equity. Rise. There we are. And that's pretty much the title of it today. All right, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all on Monday. Monday. TGIM coming up now. So everybody have a safe and smart weekend. And we will catch you all on the flip side on Monday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Remember, traders, be smart, be safe. Ta-ta.